Hi guys, it's the Walk-In 00 Dead here, king of the anime and manga unboxers. So today I'm doing my Halloween special, and it's going to be my top 5 anime and manga monsters and creatures. So remember, drop your comments down below, what are your top 5 anime monsters and creatures. So coming in at number 5 is Zoonoids from Guyver. Zoonoids are, a result of alien experiments and humans from thousands of years ago to try and create biological combat weapons. And they're immensely stronger than humans. They're 20 times stronger than humans. Some of them can be, and their skin is really well armored. And there are different classes that have been engineered by the aliens, such as power class, bioblaster class, scout class, aerial class, hyperzoonoids. The reason that zoonoids have got such a special place in my heart is because when I was about 8 or 9, my uncle showed me the Guyver live action movie, and honestly it scared the living shit out of me. I was absolutely terrified of zoonoids. I don't know why, because now when I look back at it, it's clearly just men in rubber suits. And I was watching films like Aliens and Predator and Freddy Krueger, but for some reason the zoonoids just scared the shit out of me. So they've always held a special place in my heart in anime and manga, and they're just really these huge brutish animal creatures that are just really scary. Zoonoids. So coming in at number 4 are the Titans from Attack on Titan. Now Attack on Titan's a new ongoing sort of series, but I absolutely love the Titans, and they've just smashed their way into my top 5 list of creatures. The Titans are these massive creatures with very little intelligence, and they only want to kill and massacre humans, even though they don't need to eat us. They've got this urge to eat us and kill us, and they've got this sadistic grin on their face, like it's sexual to them when they're killing us. What I love about the Titans is that at the moment they're really surrounded by mystery. No one knows what they are, no one knows where they come from. They just appeared and they just pretty much wiped out, say, 90% of the human race. When you read Attack on Titan, you get a real sense of pure hopelessness from the characters, because the Titans, they absolutely slaughter the humans. Humans do not stand a chance against the Titans. And no character in this series is 100% safe from being eaten or killed by Titans, which is really fresh, and I really like it because it's got that sense of danger and that sense of threat towards characters that very few shonen series have. So Titans. So coming in at number 3 are the Awakened Beings from Claymores. The Awakening Beings are former Claymores, male or female, who went over their Loki limit, and they couldn't go back, and they've awakened into the Awakened Beings. Each Awakened Being has their own sort of appearance, unlike the Claymores or Yoma, who have the same sort of character design. They're more of a hybrid animal sort of form, such as Ricardo. His human form is like a lion, which I really love, which is on this manga here. You've got Jean. I mean, her appearance is similar to a butterfly, and then you've got Priscilla, who her form's more like a moth, like a weird sort of hybrid moth. And then Claire, you could argue, is more sort of like a horse. When her legs are awakened, she's more like a horse. What I love about the Awakened Beings is, I really just love these creative sort of forms and character designs. I just really love that, and also they're super powerful and they're really badass, and you get some really awesome fights between the Awakened Beings and the Claymores. So taking my number 2 spot is Shiki, or Corpse Demons from Shiki. It's an absolutely tremendous series. I highly recommend you check out Shiki. Shiki, are classic, really old school vampires. They're not superhuman in their strength, or they're not ridiculously super sort of fast, and they can't sort of glamour hypnotize people. But they're very intelligent, and they're very charismatic, and they're very sort of charming, and they've lived for hundreds of years, so they're very methodical in what they do. They don't just rush in and slaughter. The thing I love about Shiki, is that they, as I said, they slowly over time take over the village in the series, and they kill their victims, making it look, making these bizarre deaths sort of look like a pandemic and a disease. And they're not particularly the most intimidating sort of creatures. You can see there, it's just a little girl. But that they're very dangerous, because in Shiki, characters get killed off left, right and centre constantly throughout the whole series, And at the start of the series, you root for the humans because they're the humans, man. You invest in the characters, and characters are like introduced to be killed by the Shiki and become Shiki. So in the second half of the series, you really feel sympathy for these characters that you invest in that are now Shiki, and you sort of like flip flop and switch to the Shiki side towards the end of the series, which is, for me, that's never happened in an anime series apart from in my number one, which makes Shiki so special, where I've actually flipped over and felt sympathy for the villains like really massively, even more so than the good guys. So coming in at number one and being my most favourite creatures or monsters in anime and manga from the original Full Metal Alchemist is the Homunculus. Homunculus are artificial created humans from when an alchemist uses human transmutation to bring one of their loved ones like back to life, and this taboo is like forbidden, probably for a reason, because it brings back one of these guys. These created humans are named after the 7 deadly sins. You got obviously pride, lust, wrath, greed, envy, sloth, and gluttony, and they all also bear Ouroboros mark on a part of their body that represents their like sin. So like on lust, it's like on a cleavage. With gluttony, it's on his tongue. With greed, it's on his hand. So I thought that was really cool, like symbolism to use. Their bodies are faster and stronger than humans. They also don't age, but Bradley's an exception to this. They're immune to like sickness and poisonings, and they can heal themselves from any injury whatsoever. Unlike in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, the Homunculus, if they get injured or killed over and over again, the power of the Philosopher's Stone like depletes and they die. But in this series, that doesn't matter. I mean, they do not die. They're borderline, unkillable in a sense. They can also, change their molecular structure with, greed turning his body into like a hard carbon, like super hard, like diamond sort of like armor. You've got envy, he can shapeshift into anybody. Gluttony turns his saliva into like acid. Lust can like, elongate like her fingers into like blades and knives. So they've got some awesome powers and they're very dangerous. The Homunculus are sadistic. And they've also harbour like a superiority sort of like complex towards humans. They see humans as being really inferior, and like they're the evolution of like the human race in a sense. But some of the Homunculus do want to become humans because they're seen to be as incomplete humans in this series. And they take a joy in killing like humans and just like slaughtering us, and they're total badasses. What I love about the Homunculus, and the reason that they're at number one, is for me they're the most dangerous villains that I've ever seen in any anime or like manga. Because they actually generally kill off characters. Spoilers here, so you might want to turn it down. I don't know. Envy kills off like Hughes. Envy kills Edward towards the end of the series, which was a massive like shock. Gluttony and lust kill off quite a few side characters along the journey, and you get a real sense of like threat from these characters. In the original FMA, if you're on like a one-on-one fight, with a Homunculus, there was no way that you could win. I mean, it just looked like you were going to be killed, or you had to like run away. There was no way, like in Brotherhood, you have a one-on-one fight, you could kill Homunculus. In the original Full Metal Alchemist, that wasn't going to happen, because unless you have an original part of their body part from when they were a human, you could not kill them. They would regenerate until they killed you. Basically, there's no way you could take them out. And I love the fact that these Homunculuses individually they get development into complex characters, and they've got multiple layers to them. I mean, like Lust, for instance, she starts off as the villain, and you feel really sympathetic for her because her desire to become like a human. So each of the Homunculus are their own individuals. They've all got their own sort of like personal goals, even though there is like a certain leader that isn't a Homunculus. They're all very different. They've all got their own desires. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my top 5 anime and manga monster and creatures. I would love to see some comments down below of what are your favourite monsters and creatures in like anime and manga, and give me your thoughts on my top 5. What would you have had in there, or what would you replace? And if you like my stuff, please subscribe. Go check out all my anime unboxings, anime reviews, manga reviews, my other like top 5, top 10 lists. I do tons of like anime and manga stuff and Walking Dead, comics and TV series reviews. So, you know, give us the old thumbs up for Halloween and your favourite monsters. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time. May the sun never set on the British anime empire.